Welcome to What's the Score for Everton's home match against Southampton. Obviously, the derby is still very fresh in all our minds, but then so's the Fulham game, the last home game. Matt, where are you with this one?
Well, the City game was the last home game, wasn't it? Just doesn't feel like it happened, does it? Really?
No.
But
I think I do that every season, though. I think because I just don't expect anything out of that game. It just it's like it never happened.
Yeah, it's mad having to actually play a football match, isn't it? Again.
Yeah,
because it felt like we sort of like conquered the world by beating the Reds and getting the new stadium pushed through and getting a new player, one of our best players on a new contract. So yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't really know how I feel about this one. It's like I've had like little pangs of I'm really looking forward to this, but then in the same breath, I've also thought Danny Ings there on a bad run, our home form. So I don't know. It's been a bit of a mad one, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we have got to be. I mean, with that neurotic, we've got to be the only sort of set of fans who are panicking about this game after beating the Reds. I mean, I know everyone's beaten the Reds this year. Even Southampton have beaten the Reds at Anfield this year. I think that was the last win, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, when he had a big cry.
He started crying at the end of the game. So yeah, you know, they know how to win on Merseyside.
But it was on Southampton, that it was at Southampton.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I mean, they haven't won against us since 1997 at Goodison, have they?
Yeah, 2-0, 97. That was the season after we spanked them 7-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, their record, Goodison's terrible. So that win in 97. The other win before that was 92 at Goodison. And then the last win before that at Goodison was 1974. So they've not got a great record at Goodison at all. I think we were quite lucky last year, weren't we? To score against them because we were wonderful.
Very lucky, yeah. I think in the first half in particular.
Yeah.
We were horrendous, weren't we? That was where that famous picture came from, wasn't it? Where it's like, where's the midfield? And it was
God, yeah.
It was like stretched across the entire pitch, wasn't it? But
yeah,
you'd like to think we're better equipped to cope with that now. I think the thing for them is they've got so many injuries, haven't they? You know, I think they haven't really got a right back anymore. So I think that Bednarek's been playing at right back, and he's quite a decent centre back. He's not a good full back. Minamino's out for them as well, isn't he?
That's good news.
Yeah,
I don't think he's much cop at all, Minamino, but it would be just typical, wouldn't it? He's done it since he's been there, and it would be typical for him to come in and score against us. We can't, so that's good.
Yeah, obviously Walcott can't play either.
Yeah.
Romeu in midfield out for the season. They've got a few injuries. They've still got some good players, haven't they? You know, Ings obviously, but
yeah,
Prowse is another one, isn't he? Just no stupid free kicks around the box because he is ridiculous, isn't he, from set pieces?
Yeah, I mean the thing I think about this game, it's stuck in my head since he said it against Newcastle. Newcastle are the sort of team who can just make dickheads out of us at will. It seems that I kind of feel that about Southampton a bit. It's like not so much at home, obviously, because their record there is terrible, but they just feel like a team we always kind of struggle against. We're very rarely convincing against them. And as you say, if you look at that last game at Goodison, the 1-1, where we were really lucky to get away with anything, it is just one of them games, isn't it, where you can't help thinking this, you know, it could easily go the wrong way. A lot of people have been saying that if it does, that blows all the derby stuff out the water, which I don't agree with. It will be annoying. It'll be very frustrating, but nothing's going to temper that derby win now. Nothing.
No, but that's more about like long term, isn't it? When we come to play them again next, and when we go to Anfield next. I mean, this is obviously really important in the context of this season and what's up for grabs. You know, I think every team above us in the league, apart from City and Liverpool, drop points this weekend. So there's the chance for us to catch up. But then, you know, if you look behind us, Villa won, Tottenham won, Arsenal won, so that they're all sneaking up as well. So it's becoming even more condensed outside of everyone apart from Manchester City, if you look at it like that. So it's the sort of week where I think we've got it's ridiculous that we're playing on Thursday, I think, but you know, we're playing, it's happening. But if you can get 6 points from these two games, that is massive then, because you can go into that Chelsea away game sort of thinking, right, we know what we're doing here, we'll go on the road, we could sort of have a bit of a free hit in this one. But you know, I think in a funny sort of way, tonight's the one I'm most worried about, because it's just like how many times? Well, the last two home games, which we take City out of it, you know, Fulham coming in, having won 2 out of 22 Premier League games. Newcastle have lost 10 in a row, and they come to Goodison, and it's just like, obviously we're gonna mess this up. But like that's I think Carlo's done a lot of really good things for us, including like making us better away from home, making us better in the big games, improved a lot of players. But I think that's another thing he's still got to sort of solve. Make sure that when there's a team on a bad run or there's a player who's not scored for months, there you go. All right, who's next on the fixture list? Everton. Well, we know what's going to happen here. Then we need to stop being that side to help teams get out of a rut, because I think they've taken 1 point from the last 8, haven't they, Southampton? So
yeah, you've been dreadful. Yeah,
you got beat 9-0 a couple of weeks ago. I mean,
exactly. It's it does feel like that though, doesn't it? Sort of there's something really desperately wrong with our home form. I think Ancelotti said the players maybe switch off a little bit. They feel a little bit too relaxed. There's not that intensity when we go away from home.
Well, I think you said it the other week, didn't you, mate, about having a plan for like games? I think it was when we were speaking about the derby last week, and you said like it feels like sometimes he has like a big plan for these away games where it feels like we're the underdog. But when we're in these games, you might go and be better than they are, and maybe we haven't got players who are good enough to quite play with that sort of freedom and without that instruction.
I think on Mailbag at the weekend, we all went into the 4 of us went into a bit of a eulogy of how much we love Ancelotti, and it's just I think it was then it occurred to me, or it may have been on the kickoff, I'm not sure, but it occurred to me that maybe in the past Ancelotti's had players who can in these games against like teams on a bad run or teams lower down the league. He's got players who will just go out and do the business anyway, even if they play terrible. There's enough players there to do the business, and he's not got that with us. And it seems like, as you say, he sets up away from home with a very definite plan, and they all execute that plan perfectly. But at home, it could be the kind of thing, like you said, just you're better than these, just go out and beat them. And because the players aren't at that level, and we've only got a couple who are, then we struggle in these games. Because there's nothing I can put my finger on that suggests why we should be like this at home. I'd like to think it's down to the Park End and the threat of booing. But I'd say for certain.
I think that there's no excuse not to start well tonight, is there? In that sense, we've had 9 days off. Everyone should be really confident. These are on a rocky run. Leeds smashed them 3-0 last week in their last game. So they've got even more injuries since then. So I think obviously there's going to be stylistic issues for us. That they, like I said, they're one of those sides seem to match up well against us. They press you really well, but just got to be on the front foot early on. And I think if you get that early goal, then like what happened at Anfield last week and what's happened in some of our away games this season, it shapes the entire game. Then does it? Then we can sit in and go, right, you know what, we're going to hit Dom and we're going to hit Richarlison when you try and push forward and leave space in behind. So going to be that interesting. We've obviously got 1 minute to go until the team's out. Neil Abraham, all right, mate, how you doing? Thanks for watching. Patrick Smith, would you give Josh King a start? Maybe not tonight, mate. I don't know about you, Les.
Yeah, I was thinking about him today. I think he's not really getting a look in, is he? It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think, while Richarlison's fit and Dominic Calvert-Lewin's fit, you've got to start them, really. And it's up to him to work his way into the team.
He said he's going to get games, didn't he?
Yeah. I just think on that, though, I want to see them two up front again, together. I much prefer two up front. It gives the defence just a lot more to think about than just Dom. And I think we saw the end of last season and the end of the derby last week. When they're playing closer together, it just looks a lot more dangerous. Because I know Dom did win one of his own flick-ons, but there's someone who's always with him.
It was like the old days, that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, I've never seen a player who can do it as good as him.
Right. So Phil Kirkbride just tweeted saying Alan, Sigurdsson and Calvert-Lewin all start tonight. Not got the full team yet. But good that Alan's back in the team at least.
Yeah, I hope it's not at the expense of Tom Davis, but I assume it will be.
Still waiting.
Or a rest, which, might not be a bad idea.
Just trying to get the team. Still not here.
I've still not got it.
Let's see. Davis has dropped along with Coleman and James. So
is James on the bench?
Yeah, I don't really know. So, how often do we do this?
Is this where we rip the team apart and get made to look idiots now?
Yeah, probably is. I think. Yeah, it's a bit mad. Still waiting for the actual team.
Oh, is it not on the official?
No, it's not. There we go. So Pickford, Holgate, Godfrey, Keane, Digne, Decore, Alan, Gomez, Sigurdsson, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin.
What do you reckon that is?
It's got to be a diamond, hasn't it? That you'd say.
Oh, really?
So, and then theirs is Fraser Forster, Bednarek, Salisu, Vestergaard, Bertrand, Redmond, Armstrong, Ward-Prowse, Gineppo, Adams, Ings. So that, considering the injuries they've got, that's seems like what you'd expect a Southampton team to be like, really.
Pretty much, yeah. As you said, Ward-Prowse and Ings are the sort of ones to watch there, aren't they?
Rodriguez isn't in the squad, unfortunately. So the bench is Nkunku.
Oh, yeah.
Nkunku, Ashley, Kyle, John. I'm just getting it back here. Tyler Onyango. Nathan Broadhead's on there as well. Where are all players gone? Josh King.
That's really strange. Yeah, Josh King.
So I don't know what's happened to our squad.
I don't know, because looking at the bench again now, yeah, there's not really any options on there, is there?
Yeah.
We've got Bernard King and Bernard.
King. Yeah. Shame about James though, especially. I think he has been carrying a little knock, hasn't he? So
yeah,
you'd imagine maybe he's just rested. He'll be in the side for West Brom, but
yeah, and you think, actually, there's no Davis there either, is there?
Nah, strange one.
I mean, I suppose he's got to have one eye on Thursday night because it's so close, but disappointing for me that when a player's in a run of form like he is, he's got to stay in and around the squad, if not in the team. That is disappointing. I mean, and especially given sort of Andre Gomez being the walking red card at Anfield last week, he's the sort of player he is liable to pick up an early booking, and then you're on eggshells for the whole game, aren't you? Because he does silly little fouls, and you know if he does pick up an early booking, is there anyone to bring on in his place there?
No, but I suppose the thing you might see then is you can take one of those 4 centre mids out and put Iwobi on, or Bernard on, or King on, something like that. Maybe push one of them wide and change the system a little bit. I think the thing is, like, you might look at it and go, we just need to make sure we've got a solid in this game. You know, if Rodriguez and Davis, and you'd assume they both got knocks by the fact they're not in the squad, that's got to be the case. Maybe just thinking we need to be solid first and foremost in this, and then take it from there. But I mean, there's a big onus on the fullbacks, isn't there, in that to get forward? You know,
massively.
You say Alan will be the deepest of that midfield with Decore and Gomez, and then Sigurdsson ahead of them. So you need whip from Digne on the left, and then Holgate on the right. I think the thing is maybe it's a bit disappointing is that I think we said there about Bednarek playing at right back, and apparently he's been really ropey there. We haven't really got a left winger playing.
Get at him there,
which is probably, they'll probably be quite happy with that. But
yeah, well, that's the thing though, is that we've seen this a few times now where he's played teams, especially at home, where there's a complete lack of width, and it's really odd, and it's been working at home, so I'm dead worried again now.
Yeah, some of the comments here, Stephen Sheehan saying, calling up Bernard in goal, and I'd still love him after last Saturday. 3-0 Blues. William Roberts, we should win tonight, that's 3-1. Ian Clark saying, can it be as simple as just starting the same 11 as against the Shite and play more counter-attack against Southampton? I don't know, I think we probably need to do something a bit different against
I like the idea of that, though. I always think, well, if a team like Liverpool can't score against you at home, if you've then got Southampton at home next game, you put the same team out. I know no 2 games are the same, but they've got
true.
And you build on that. It does seem like a bit of messing around for no real reason, apart from the fixture congestion.
Maybe he's just scarred by last season where we had no one in midfield, so he's thought, you know what, just lash 4 centre mids in against these. Neil Abraham saying, Miguel says 2-0 win is right, mate. Jonathan Haddock, confidence, tempo and aggression is what we've missed at home. Hopefully we're up for it tonight. Jonathan Haddock, no Coleman in the squad either. That's another good shout. And Iwobi's on the bench, isn't he, I think? So
yeah, he is.
So there's a few, I don't know. I've just seen Dave on Twitter there saying big fan of more than half the team going missing after the derby. Maybe they're just still out on the ale. Who
can blame them? Although I thought if one player was going to still be out on the ale, I thought that would be Mason Holgate, by all accounts.
Yeah. Very, very strange. Very, very strange, that.
I suppose, looking at that bench, though, it is the option to get the wide players on Iwobi and Bernard on the different wings.
King and Kunku's there as well. So
at some point, yeah.
We
should know better than to comment on the team now, shouldn't we? Really?
I know. Well, we just typically when we slag it off, it's it goes well, doesn't it? So
yeah, it's usually a good sign. So the fact that we can't make head and the tail of that is not a bad thing.
I know, but just shame about James not playing. Really, that's the.
It always is. There's always a little bit of disappointment, isn't there, when he's not even on the bench?
Yeah.
But see him every game.
But obviously, we'll probably hear from the manager before the game, but be interested to see what the reason is behind them three not being in the squad. Coleman, Davis, Rodriguez not being in the squad because they to not even be on the bench. It suggests there's some they might not be fully fit. Obviously, we know that James has been carrying something the last few weeks. Maybe he's thinking I'll play him on Thursday from the start instead against a deep sitting West Brom side that'll give him more time on the ball. Maybe there's a bit of thinking in that behind it, but. No, I suppose the good thing is maybe we've got 3 key players out of the squad there, and by and large that 11 looks pretty solid, doesn't it? Looks pretty solid, so that's got to be positive.
I think the 2 up front's a massive thing for me as well. Just that's going to give them a lot to think about at the back, isn't it? I know you're saying about we're not really got the width to trouble the fullbacks. Then I think if you've got two players in Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison who are dead good and play well together, that gives both centre-backs something to think about, which in turn is going to give the full-backs something to think about as well. So, I am really looking forward to seeing those 2 fronts. I would never play one up front. I just don't like it. It's too easy for the striker to be isolated when there's one up front.
If you're watching on YouTube, get your predictions in as well for the game. You haven't sent them in already. We've had a few more come in on the Blue Room WhatsApp group as we've been doing this. We were just slagging everybody off, weren't we? Because we asked for predictions and no one sent any over.
Well, I try not to take it personally, but sometimes I do.
Disgraceful behaviour. You think everyone would be buzzing and well into the toffees after last week, but
as you say, maybe they were just at work and sorting the thing. Stuff.
Disgraceful.
Other things to do, unlike us. I'll go through the scores then. Rob Vera said 2-1 the Blues. That hopeful probably. Because our home form is ridiculous. Reynolds, 3-0. Toffees in capital letters with a top hat. You can't really...
Top toffees, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe someone's going to get a hat trick.
Yeah, hopefully Dave on the post-match. Speaking of which, Dave said 1-0 Saints Armstrong.
Good to see Dave being positive.
Completely overlooking the fact that Daniel Ingredients is definitely going to score.
I know.
There's a stat on that. I mean, I know we know anyway that he always scores against us, but Saints striker Danny Ings has been directly involved in 7 goals in his 9 PL starts against Everton, producing 5 goals and 2 assists. So maybe he's going to Armstrong. MDA 3-0 tops.
That's a surprise from Mike.
Nice bit of positivity from Mike. RV 2-1 to Southampton now, changing his mind.
Oh, Rob, what are you doing?
Mark Mosey hasn't given us a score prediction. He just said, where the fuck have all our players gone?
Yeah, fair enough. That's what we were all thinking.
Can't argue with that. Kate has said 2-2.
They're all coming in now. Everyone's just getting out of work and just checking the phones.
That's all it is.
That's all it is, yeah.
My mate Stu said 2-1 to us.
He's right, Stu.
Joe said 3-1 and Jay said 2-1. Joe said 3-0 until I reminded him about Danny Ings and then he said 3-1.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm crying that one in all night.
Well, Rob's just mentioned as well, even Olsen's not on the bench. What's going on?
Oh no, Virginia's in goal, isn't he? Sorry, the reserve keeper.
Where have they all gone?
Strange.
Oh, dear me.
Dave said he reckons they're still on the lash. He hopes so anyway.
Yeah. Ian Clark in the chat on YouTube saying, I'm not calling it, but I've got money on Godfrey, Deeney and Holgate to score. I mean, that is quite specific when it comes to calling it, mate, to be fair.
And how much are you going to make on that?
Yeah, I know.
Put a quid on that. You're going to coin it in anyway.
Yeah. Joseph Cooper, 3-1, have faith. Gavin Crozier, 3-0. Gareth Latter, 2-1, a DCL brace. Yeah.
Nice to have DCL scoring again.
Yeah. I'm thinking 2-1. I think it's going to be a horrible game looking at that team. But maybe from a set piece and then something else. But
Yeah.
Hard to see us being free flowing, certainly with that setup. But
no, I can't see that either. Yeah, I think I'll go 2-1 as well. You say set pieces. No side has scored more headed goals in the top flight than Everton this season. And exactly half of them have come from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's five than any other player this season.
Must have been a while since we scored from a set piece or a headed goal. It was obviously, penalty side.
Last one, remember?
Yeah, I think that probably must have been the last one I can remember. Obviously, the penalty's a set piece from Sigurdsson. City was a scabby goal. Didn't score against Fulham. I can't even remember what game was before that. United.
Yeah.
Didn't score a set piece in that either.
A free kick at the end, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, header. Yeah, I don't know. So we need to get back on that. Obviously, we've got Mina in the side. Maybe we're getting a bit more predictable from that. So maybe Michael Keane or something tonight. But I can't see it being a good game. But I do think we'll have a bit too much for these, especially if we score early on.
Yeah, as you said as well at the start, we need to really need to win this to sort of pull away from Spurs. We'll then be 4 points ahead on the same games, same big red with the game.
Yeah, it's got and Thursday's potentially going to be horrible if we don't, because you've got Allardyce and all that.
The script's written there, isn't it?
Just imagine them crowing. Yeah, we need to be bouncing into that game, thinking let's absolutely smash them out of sight.
100%. Yeah, I mean, as you said, no reason why not. Looking at, but then we said the same against Fulham. But then I don't want to mention Fulham anymore, so I won't.
John Morris said 4-1 DCL hat trick is right, mate. And Ian Clark said they're all separate bets. He's not done an accumulator.
Oh, right.
The three defenders on. I mean, you're going to be kicking yourself if that happens, mate.
Imagine. That'd be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. These games are impossible to call, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Absolutely impossible.
We never know with us. But if it's 0-0 at half time, I'm going to be panicking again, thinking, oh no, the same's going to happen again.
You kind of know within the first 5 minutes, don't you, really? You sort of see how the team comes out. And if we haven't had a shot in the first 5 minutes, you're like, oh, right, there we go. This is just going to be sort of just a scrap for the rest of the game. They'll probably score on 60 or something like that. But yeah, we need to get out the traps like we did against Liverpool. There's no reason why we can't.
Corner after 15 seconds again, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, pretty quicker than that, wasn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, I think it was about 10 seconds, wasn't it? But that's something we always had a problem with, starting the games well. There was times, I think it was under Allardyce, but it was maybe under Silva as well, where we didn't even have a shot in the first half. It's like, you've got to put the opposition under pressure straight away, and there's really no reason why we can't. Even if you're just lashing it up to that front two, it's going to put them under pressure. Fraser Forster in goal as well.
Oh, he's awful, him. I know we've jinxed it now, but he is terrible, him.
He is bad. We've got to be making the most of that.
Yeah, he gets down to shots like the Tin Man, doesn't he?
Yeah, this is all set up for Luca Dean.
Banging shots from 40 yards out.
Yeah, 100%. Like he did against Joe Hart against Burnley. Loads of that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to leather these, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be nice to leather these. I think if you score early against them, they can get a bit heads down, can't they?
Well, yeah. Yes.
I think Spurs scored 6 against them, didn't they, early in the season? United obviously got 9. It's one of those two. Just a bit of a weird team, aren't they? But
it is, though, you're right. If you score early against them, given the hidings they've had, that immediately goes into the players' mind and the managers as well. And everyone's on pins then. And then when you're playing like that, it's difficult to do anything right. So get at them early and we'll leather them. I'm going to say 7-1.
Hopefully we find out where all our lads are as well.
Yeah, it would be nice.
I'm sure the manager will enlighten us in a bit.
I'm sure he will. He'll make up something. Right, who's on post-match?
Those Dave and Rob, I believe.
Belter. Dave, if you're watching, dig out your flat cap, lad. Come on. Give the people what they want.
Do you know what? After that Merseyside derby, that's all the comments were full of.
Mad. Absolutely insane. We beat the Reds for the first time in 20 odd years.
People are more asked about Tommy, Dave, Shelby.
Well, you can see why, though, can't you? It's a solid...
I think he's never worn it once on the show. But, all right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Should be good. Hopefully we win.
Yeah. Is right. Everyone come back for that then. Hopefully it will be men in hats again and the Toffees will win. Enjoy the game tonight.